Hello traders. The week has just ended. Hope it was a profitable week for each and every one of you. So I'm just going to do large scale analysis, big time frame analysis. Then from there we can have how those distributions via the big time frames have occurred, and then we can anticipate what to expect in the coming week. So I'm going to look at three markets: pound, euro, and crude oil. And if anyone else will have a different analysis or anything, you can as well do so. So for volume distribution, I'm going to look at the weekly. So when you look at the weekly, we want to see how the weeks have been transacting and what we should expect. Now, in this case, what we're seeing is this week has just ended, and it looks to have distributed volume in there and looks to have broken out of this. However, when we look at market cycles, we see that we have had distinctive value distributions. From there, went to imbalance down here, and all the way down to these 3 weeks. So these are 3 weeks of value distribution practically around the same areas, because we can see we have value areas overlapping each other. So in this case, we can look for a composite that we can have one distinctive distribution. So if let's add it to Friday. So as we can see, for these past 3 weeks, this is its composite, and you can see its value area is practically around this area here. So value area high, value area low. You can add that. So this is a value area that is distinctive, because you can now see we have a value area which we can work with. So from this value to this value, now to this lower value, instead of having too many value areas in there. So in this case, this is the value area of pound for the past 3 weeks, and we can highlight the point of control right there, and we can see that the point of control has been respected, and it has acted as a resistance. So if that's the case, if we're looking at pound in terms of value and volume distribution, we can see that we have broken out of this value area distribution. And yes, it's value because we see we have been practically ranging in this area, and now we are breaking out. So right now in pound, we are in price discovery. We're in price discovery. And if we're to look at periodic profiles, we can see that from the daily perspective, the sessional perspective, we can see that there is some price action here, down here. So from this breakout, from this value area, we were expecting price discovery and new value distribution. So you can see on Friday, we have created that semi-value point. So now we can distinctively say that in this area here, we have discovered new value that we could see on Friday. And you can see it's quite distinctive from the bigger perspective. So we are right there. So what to expect? Come Monday, we will be looking at how we are going to be trading with this new price discovery. So if we're looking at pound on Monday, we shall be seeing, first of all, we have closed within value. As you can see, we're within this value area of Friday. And yes, it's a value area because you can see we have an up-down sort of movement. So that's value. So we can label this as value sessional right there. So what's to expect? Come Monday, we shall see. If we're able to break out of this and confirm it either at value area high or the volume point of control, it's going to be our primary, it's going to be our secondary. Then we shall be checking if this is the pullback to the weekly value distribution. So we shall see if we're going to get buys from the, if we break out, pull back, and we confirm with our footprints, then we shall have a good buy trade up to previous weekly value area. And if we're going to be able to break into this, then we shall be looking bullish all the way to the volume point of control or all the way. So we shall see. And again, if we fail and we still trade in here, if we break out lower for further price discovery, shall be waiting for that pullback or the volume point of control for that continuation for further price discovery. So right now we are in the 1400s. If we are able to continue lower, that means we shall be going to the 1300s now. These are very low prices. So that is pound. So come Monday, we shall see how we are going to deal with these two areas, the Friday area and the weekly area. So for pound, this is what we have. Okay. So as we said, we are dealing with, I'm dealing with high time frames because I don't want to go too much into detail. So this is what we have in pound come Monday. So this is our weekly bigger value distribution from these 3 weeks. So this is a 3-week value creation. And now from the breakout, we have had a minimal price discovery lower. So come Monday, we shall see how this is going to be updated. So let's just put it right there. So that is pound. Next, let's look at euro dollar. So again, let's look at the bigger time frame because we want to see how value is being created. So I'm going to lose the weekly. So what do we have with euro? So in the weekly perspective, distinctive value, we had an area here. Wow, it has been quite for some time from this overlap here, 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 here. So this entire area here. So let's see how that looks like if we to combine all of it. Okay, then let's put it. like that. Okay, so if we look at these weeks, so we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks of creating value. So this right here is our distinctive value area. And the point of control should be right in here. Right in there. Okay, so distinctively for these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, that was the value area. And you can see from this value area, we went for price discovery lower. So you can see during the formation of the week and even this up move, it was simply to come and retest this value area. So you can see the value area low, the volume point of control right there. And this is exactly, they were showing you that they were no longer interested in trying to search for these other values. So from this rejection, you can see down there. So this price discovery from this breakout that we saw around the 16th and all the other coming days, we can distinctively see that during the price discovery, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 weeks ending with last week, where again, we're getting the same kind of situation. So because we want to see distinctiveness, let's just add that. And now we can simply create a distinctive value area right there. And our point of control for this composite should be right there. Okay. Let's just remove it and make our POC look quite there. So we have now 2 distinctive value areas. So for that value area came down to this value area. After the fact, we can see that we broke out, comes there, rejects, comes back to previous value that we have seen down here. And now we can see what is happening. So come Friday, you can see we are maintaining value area low. We have again come down to the lows of value of the week. And from here, we have seen there's this kind of formation. So this looks bullish because breakout initiation beyond POC, pull back to our volume point of control. So that being said, let's look at it in a zoomed in view. So let's look for our sessional or daily profile so that you can see how Friday did relative to our weekly bias. So on Friday, we have this value area here. Just going to add it right there. And with its volume point of control down here. So this is Friday's value area. So I want to distinctively get it out of this. And we can see now if I come back to our normal view, the weekly, So you can see that come Monday, now coming next week. So down here we have our sessional value area. That's and bold. So this is what you're dealing with. So come Monday, we can see that we are maintaining above the weekly volume point of control, and we seem to want to break outside. If I'm to zoom it closer, we'll be seeing such a thing. We are maintaining above the weekly volume point of control, and we are now trading. We have closed above the value area high of Friday. So come Monday, we shall see if they're able to maintain this level here. That means we shall get our first buys to the weekly value area high. Then again, if we're able to maintain, break and maintain for price discovery, simply we know where our next value area is, right somewhere that side. Of course, we shall keep tracking this as the week keeps developing, because it's not necessary that they're going to reach all the way. Some new information can happen in the coming week. So again, we shall be keeping track of fundamentals and other things to add confluence to our trade bias. So from this perspective, come Monday for Euro, this is what we're going to be looking at. Okay. Most of these we are going to confirm with our footprint. Finally, we can look at crude oil. Crude oil important because right now you can see in the world oil having price fluctuations and how it is messing about with different things. So it doesn't hurt to also understand where we stand with oil. So again, big time frame. Should look at the weekly chart. There's too much information in here, but you can see, wow, we might have to choose, because all we're getting is overlaps. So all these two overlapped. Let's try and see how this looks like. If we look at this first composite, sorry. Look at this first composite here. We have a value area for this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 5 weeks. In this case, we might have to just, because you have a lot of overlapping values, so you can choose for 5 weeks, depending. So let's see. For the past 5 weeks, this is our value area, and this is our volume point of control. Now, most of you, I'm so sure you don't use composites. Composites are very important, especially when you have overlaps. Always remember that. You want distinctive value areas. And from here, now mind you, this is a composite of all these weeks here. So from here, you can see we had price discovery down here, because we have broken out of here, and you can see now we are getting this price action. We're getting from down to here to there. So there was some price discovery and value creation from down here. So from down here. And when you now look at the coming, so this is last week, the whole of last week on oil. If we're looking at it in this perspective, we can see oil got confirmed around these areas. Of course, if we bring up the sessional profiles, we can see this much clearer. But there was information around this point, around the value area zone, as you're looking at zones. Of course, I'm social Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So let's look at Friday. Friday was from here to here. So yes, so you can see the Friday of 2 weeks ago, its value area. Sorry, I'm just going to draw this a bit camped, but I want to show you why or where this reaction took place from. So the value area was there, and you can see right here was the rejection, and it coincides with value area high zone for the pullback. So you can see we broke out here, pullback. Friday confirmed this. So this was the buy to the previous value from the previous composite. So this is a nice buy. And now we can see from this value distribution during the entire week, we are still practically refusing to go back to this value to test maybe the volume point of control and the value area high. And we can see last week also, what we are getting is an overlap. We're getting an overlap of this value. So now we might have to combine this and this week and last week to get that distinctive Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to there. And if we combine these two, we can see there is some there's some open levels right here. So we have these two. We have, we are having the volume point of control of the 2 weeks composite, the value area low of the 2 weeks composite right there. So weekly bias, we can see we are still at the value area low of with week 1 and last week. We are around this area. So this is because this value area high is within this previous composite, I'm not going to consider it much because it's already within this big area. Of course, for purposes of trading, we can also look at it as a potential target area. However, this is what we're dealing with on the weekly basis. So let's drop down to the sessional and see what Friday did and what we can expect. So mind you, this is a weekly composite VPOC. And this is weekly, okay, weekly value area low. So bold. It doesn't hurt if we just name them. Weekly VPOC. Okay, so wow. So these are weekly levels. We look at it in price terms, 86.63, 86.63, 80. And down here we have 84.48. 84.48 level. So these are two contextual weekly levels from the composite. Now, if we look at the Friday, how did Friday end, the end of the week? We can see we have this value area. I don't want to, let's try and put it somewhere outside. I don't know if, I hope it's not going to be too crowded, but let's put it there, and we don't want to crowd our chat too much. Okay. Right there. So we can see on the weekly perspective, we have rejected the weekly value area low, and we have closed at the sessional volume point of control. And the weekly and Friday, the value area lows, as you can see, are practically the same. So the weekly value area low and the sessional value area low are the same. So this is what we're dealing with. So come Monday, if we confirm this, we're taking this buy on oil, on oil. We can take initial positions at the value area high of Friday. Then if we get that confirmation to break out, we can do that. But if we get that confirmation around value area, around the VPOC of Friday, based on the weekly context, I'll be bullish up to there. And unless this brings in some new information, we shall confirm with our footprints. And if possible, we get continuation, we shall be targeting the previous distinctive value area. So right there, shall be targeting that if we get a breakout here. And if we maintain, then we are bullish all the way to those levels. Again, we shall be confirming this with our sessional with our sessional profiles to confirm or deny what we see from the bigger time frame perspective. So we have spent about half an hour. It should have taken shorter, but because I'm speaking and explaining a few things, but simply that is how you can easily use volume profile to distinctively mark your levels and prepare for the week. So crude oil, this is what we have. We look at euro, this is what we have, and pound, that is what we have. So we shall be looking at this, we shall be looking at our week as it's moving, but already we know levels of interest that we'll be looking at. All we need is just to confirm with our footprints during the trading sessions. So I can see some of you, some people have joined. I don't know, maybe it was a bit late or something. You're welcome. So I open up these few minutes that we have because we would like to complete the hour. Let me just put them on different screens because I have multiple screens. Then we shall just be screen sharing those screens. So pound, I know most of you like trading euro, so let me put euro on my main screen. Then pound, my favorite, I'm going to put on the left. And oil, I'm going to put on my right. Then I'm just going to save this workspace. Always save your workspace. And we are ready for next week. So reviews, any comments, any additionals on these particular pairs or any other thing that you might want to talk about. We have about 20 minutes, so let's use this time. Welcome. Any suggestions, anything that maybe I've spoken and you didn't know, now you know, anything, any comment? Let's keep this lively because this is our hub. So we want our hub to be lively. So ideas, please. Of course, we can also look at the cumulative. Sorry, I didn't speak about this. We can also look at our cumulative profiles to see how they are interacting with our contextual levels. So for example, let's look at euro. So this is our trade analysis. So when you look at the composite also, we can see that this area here, this cluster here on euro is what has led to that bullish. Okay, it might be too crowded, but let's just put it on this side. So this is the distinctive heavy volume distribution that has come in leading to the close of the week. So right here. And you can see it's coinciding with our VPOC area and value area high of this week. So let me put that's your HVN. So as you can see, we are expecting bullish behavior around these areas. If this heavy volume generates more than we need to buy, that's added confluence to buy to there. Or if we get more volumes coming in, then we know what we're expecting. So this area here, if it maintains, we shall be looking for longs. If they break it, retest, and we see there's nothing more, that will confirm our shorts probably to these levels, or if we're going to go for price discovery. So that we can add, so we can add this volume distribution as an added confluence for euro come Monday. So HVN, bold. I hope it's again not too crowded. So if it's too crowded for you, let's pray that it makes sense to you. So let's look also at pound. Let's look at volume distribution from the cumulative perspective. So from the cumulative perspective, we can see down here where we got a rejection of this semi price discovery after this breakout. There is practically low volume, some small distribution there. Don't think if it's that significant. Okay, let's see. There's nothing much here, but we can see that we have some low volume area down here. So probably before or after a breakout, we might come and look for a fill out or rejection of this low volume for that buy. So in this case for pound, we are dealing with low volume area. So LVN here. These are just added confluences. It doesn't hurt to have them. So you have a low volume area here. Of course, to zoom in, we shall look for it in sessional to get more confirmation. So that's pound. Now let's look at crude. We see from this distribution. So what we're having here is, as we said, we're on Friday's VPOC, and there is where we have a heavy volume node distribution, some node here. So as an additional confluence, we shall again, hopefully not too crowded, but that's the heavy volume node. And if we're to look at the last price action coinciding with that node, we can see we are within that some heavy volume distribution, some distinctive volume here. So again, this area very important come Monday. If we maintain this, we are bullish. If we fail, we are bearish. So that's it.